I'm going to introduce to you the director and visionary behind Aquaman. He is going to make Aquaman cool. James Wan.
The most recent thing we've seen of Aquaman has been the storyline in Entourage. So everything about this guy up until now has been used in a much more jokey kind of way. And I think because of that, part of the challenge has been trying to show him in a different light.
Okay, so for any of you people who know how much jokes get played on the Aquaman sort of mythology, people make fun of him for riding seahorses. Well, now you see my seahorse.
We've never really been able to kind of tell his story on the big screen before. And I think a big part of that is due to the fact that he's a very different kind of superhero. He lives in a very different environment to what we're used to, and I think the world where he's from makes him very interesting.
We have explored space more than we have explored the ocean floor on our own planet, and so the opportunity there to create this whole different world is so exciting for me. January 23rd, 2017. This is the year that we dive into everything Aquaman related. Right now, you guys are inside my production office here in Burbank, California, where we've been prepping for the last 2 or 3 months, designing the visuals and the look of this world.
There's nothing in this movie that isn't drawn, not one thing, and everything's built, so it's pretty crazy. So these are the Atlantean soldiers. Before they ever make a costume or they do anything, Ed designs these guys right down to every little seam on their outfits. And then these are translated into three-dimensional models, and then they're turned into costumes.
We're starting to prototype the costumes which have been approved by James, and we'll start fitting our actors in the next couple of weeks. And then we have 6 weeks before we go to Australia and 14 weeks till we shoot.
I mean, this is just a walkthrough. That's what today is, right? To know, just to walk through to see what we need.
Bang, his head just goes up.
James,
Yeah.
right here, when the last hit, smash him up there,
Smack him up there.
and then it hits back down onto this and breaks through.
Okay, do you have a piece?
Yeah, we're gonna.
How are we gonna shoot that?
Bigger
Actually, you know
ball.
what would be great? It'd be like when he goes through, just break it.
Break it.
Yeah, make this breakable. I think it'd be much more dynamic.
It's cool too. Like we're really gonna hurt Kim too. So like you don't even need to rubber it. Kim's not here right now to
defend
tell her how
himself. This is great, you guys. It's gonna look so good.
Guys, we'd like to now go to an underwater fight sequence.
The very first time I was pitched the movie, the first thing you automatically think is, well, we're going to be in the water all the time.
We've all heard stories of how difficult it is to shoot water-related movies. They tell you not to work with kids and animals, but they really tell you don't work in water if you can help it. But that's gonna be very difficult for a movie that's called Aquaman.
I don't think you can shoot the movie that you want to shoot underwater. Waterwork's just impossible. I can hold my breath for 5 minutes. Camera guy's got to do the same thing. Just can't work.
It's not practical to shoot underwater, so obviously we're shooting in a green screen situation. And the movement was important to distinguish the underwater world from the surface world.
There's so much stuff that's never been done before, and we're really just discovering it as we go along. Think of the fight sequences. Imagine what that would look like if it was underwater. I don't know what underwater fighting camera work looks like, but we're here to make it up.
The greatest challenge as we entered the production of the movie was how are we going to make it look realistic underwater when we know we're shooting a dry set and the water will ultimately be brought in later as visual effects.
It was the first thing that we had to sit down and figure out is how are we going to make people really look like they're underwater.
I didn't know how they were going to shoot this. I had no idea until I showed up for stunt rehearsals and showed me what they were going to do.
We're setting up one of our guys on the tuning fork. It's to help simulate their swimming instead of actually being in a tank.
It looks like a fork, a tuning fork.
Ding.
There's no easy shot in this movie, and even the movement of the actors is all new. It's all unique. It's all different to this particular film.
The reality is, even a simple scene of two people talking is never going to be that simple.
I never thought I'd see the day when my own father would bow before the king of Atlantis.
My first scene was coming off the Sea Dragon to meet with Orm, and it took like 50 takes just for that particular motion.
King Orm.
King Nereus, we need to be a little closer.
Yeah, a little closer together.
But the thing is, you could do a perfect reading, but something was wrong with the rig or whatever. You have to do it again.
There's just no way of getting around how time-consuming it is going to be to shoot this film because of all the technicality involved.
Oh, yeah. It's a bit uncomfortable. All the pressure comes in a very sensitive spot.
I mean, I love doing stunts anyway, I do. I love it. So I'm excited to get in the harness.
You said that you love stunts, and I'm very, very excited to get into the harness.
That's a naive actor saying that. That's someone who has never been in a heart. I really said that?
Aquaman, day one. Super excited to be on set on the first day. If you're ready to get this going.
James has always wanted to shoot movies practically, and we really did build a lot of sets.
It was important for me to give the actors as much reality as possible. When you have so much blue screen, we need the set built so that they can stand within it and kind of go, oh, okay, I'm inside a nuclear submarine.
That first day was just, I'm like, hey, let's go, let's dance.
This is one of the hardest sets you can do. Submarines are so complicated. We base it on reality as much as we can. And the way we do these sets, we buy large chunks of gauges and panels from the big ship repository where they strike the ships and they take them apart and they sell the scrap. We build a whole sub interior with hallways and control rooms and a torpedo room that goes underwater. This is one of the more cool submarine sets. This whole thing is built on this big steel platform that can be sunk underwater on big hydraulic lifts. If you want to fill a set up, you can't pump enough water, and the easiest way to do it is push it into the water. It's like if you want to fill a bucket up really fast, you push it underwater and you fill it up.
This will be a wet set. So, in the very unlikely event that we have a failure with the hydraulics of the system, the set will sink to the bottom. The water level will be right there. So make sure that you have the ability to float or swim. For those who don't know how to swim, I recommend you don't be in this set.
How about Bruce standing by?
Sets on the move!
And falling in 3, 2, 1, action.
And action!
When you have an actor and he's getting blasted by water, it's much more dynamic.
Great, got it. Woo! All right, good.
This location is our home for Aquaman, Amnesty Bay. It was a really hard location to do here because we went all over the place looking for bars that didn't show Australia out the window. So we built it from scratch.
As soon as we got the signs up, we had locals pulling up. So I never knew this bar existed. I'm sure security shooed away quite a few people.
Well, here's the funny thing is, James does a lot of takes.
Take 15, here we go.
You can't drink that much coffee. You'll be cracked out. You can't drink that much sugar, but we had to do it. Someone's got to do it. The worst part is, like, I had to finish this in the very beginning. Pound it. That's fine, but on take, 40 or whatever, you're just taking shots at the beginning before you even start the scene. If Tim messed up the line...
Tim, you don't want to mess that line up.
So that was the problem. It wasn't like the sipping to the scene, it's the bang, bang to start off the whole thing. And then things got a little carried away.
That is funny. You guys at all?
Sunken Galleon is a phenomenal set. It's really a full-size galleon that looks like it's been sitting at the bottom of the ocean for 1,000 years.
In here, they get attacked by these soldiers. And the stunt guys are practicing. There's a huge fight that happens.
It's one, you don't sleep easy when you know it's coming up. We had to pick a gap through a 45-degree angle, which made the hole we were going through even smaller at a super high speed while inverting and twisting.
Excellent. Cut it. Well, the advantage is the explosion of the statue could knock them back to wherever we want them to be. Manta could land over there. I mean, it's not a bad thing to actually move the statue over a little bit. Yeah. The problem is, if I move the statue over here, Manta only has this place to come. So if Manta comes here, now the trajectory is going this way, right? Well then, okay, if we put the statue back here, then Manta can come up that way. Because if Mera is over here, she's gonna want to run that way, and we need maybe Merksman to come up, boom, land over here. You know, right? So maybe we have a few flanking Manta, you know, and then like two others, like, you know, or two or three others, right? So kind of surrounding them. Yeah, so that when she tries to step forward here, these Mans land here and try and cut her off.
So we're on shooting day 59. Today is August the 3rd, and we're sitting right now on the Sicily set.
We were going to shoot in Sicily. Erice is the name of the town.
We were originally going to shoot in Erice until they found out what we wanted to do there.
All the destruction that you'll see in Sicily, that's like Black Manta's responsibility. So I take full credit for the trouble that we caused.
At the end of the day, going to Italy and working in a historical town wasn't going to work for us if you're going to blow stuff up.
Are you not entertained?
So we built literally a whole portion of the town. It was really beautiful, actually. It turned out great.
It is a perfect replica of the town of Erice in Sicily.
We would sit here at the little cafe and have our lunch and feel like we're in Italy. It was fun.
I love this set. It's quite an ambitious thing, and you don't get to do this very often. This is very old school.
The lighthouse is really one of the most central locations for our film, and it's the opening of our movie, so it's such an important sequence.
We were looking for landscapes that would be reminiscent of Maine, and for the most part, Australia doesn't look like Maine.
We found this extraordinary location in New South Wales called Hastings Point, and Bill built an entire lighthouse there.
What we're building here is a lighthouse, and if you're going to build a house on a beach, you got to build it so the wind won't blow it away. We're literally dropping it right on top of this park with heavy weights so it doesn't blow away. We're not digging into the ground. We're not doing any ecological damage. So that was probably the biggest challenge. And it's a brilliant location. It's all the rocks and everything exposed, just like you would see in New England.
Doesn't matter how good the VFX guys are, they still can't get it as good as the real thing.
It really helps set the scene and gets everybody emotionally involved. That's a layer to doing things real that you can't get with digital scenery.
It was nice being able to go and actually be in the ocean so that it wasn't all in the studio. That was fun.
The day I actually went out to the lighthouse, the whales were there. They come to say hi. Then the crew just sort of stopped for a moment while we sort of gazed at the whales.
Our costumes help us take that journey from dark, brooding, reluctant hero into someone who's going to become the king. So by the end, he's wearing armor that came from the kingdom of Atlantis. So it needs to be majestic, it needs to be strong, and, you know, he also has to like it.
The first costume is pretty terrifying. It just basically looked like I was in spandex with gold and bright green. I haven't tried on my next one yet. So, excited to put that on.
A lot of our job is getting it to a point where it's got enough of Jason in it and enough of Aquaman, the comic book hero, in it.
You know, Kim's great. She's like, rest assured, it'll be good. So I'm really excited to see when the next interview what it looks like, and then the next one what it looks like.
Super complicated suit because he's in so much water action. We needed something that would instantly wick, but was flexible enough. The problem with gold or metallic paints is on a flexible surface, the paint itself is kind of a metal. So as it moves, it wants to crinkle and wrinkle. And we tried probably 15 different variations of paints. We ended up developing a paint that was almost like a weatherproofing sealant that we reformulated to work with the rubber.
It's one of those rad moments, just him putting on the suit for the first time and walking through, and you're like, awesome. When I put it on, I think my kids were really close by and I wanted them to see it. And, you know, it's the big, wide-eyed mouth gaping, and it just makes me smile. So, yeah, it's cool to be dad who's dressed up like that.
Make up.
Pretty cool, huh?
It's day 100. We're just about to finish filming the last few days of Aquaman.
I've been doing this since January, and it's encroaching on November, so it's been a long process, and over the course of that time, it's become like a family here.
It's been a ride, that's for sure. It's been tiresome, and you can start to hear it. We're all exhausted, but got to work with my mentor, R.A. Rondell, to coordinate with him. It was just a dream come true.
Of course I've had fun. I mean, if you're going to be away from your family for a long time, which most of us have here, that's a tough pill to swallow, but we're in great company shooting a killer film with a bunch of fun people. It's a good life.
It was a real challenge, and it's a complicated movie. It's been a long, fun experience, and I'm sure when the movie comes out, it's going to be brilliant.
If this movie had no deadline, I didn't have a release date, I would just keep chipping away. I'll keep designing things. But when I get to a certain stage, I have to start putting my pen down.
We're super pumped to be here tonight in Los Angeles at the massive Aquaman premiere!
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Aquaman himself.
I'm just excited to see it, and it's gonna be a great night.
Uh-oh, the shirt is coming off.
Okay.
The king means business.
You can't really make a movie like this without all the amazing artists and the actors that put all this together. It was so much fun. It was such a collaborative process, and I could not have asked for a better team to be with me on this film.